What's up, YouTube? I'm Mike. Today I'm back, unfortunately, for the sake of full transparency, to report that the MK677 experiment that I have been running has unfortunately been a failure, a total failure. So if you recall, if you've been following the channel, I decided to use MK677 to boost my appetite, and for that purpose alone, I have never in life experienced anything like it. The appetite that is created by MK677, especially for somebody like me who absolutely hates eating and struggles to eat, was one of the single most enjoyable experiences of my life. Actually, I got to enjoy for a very short 2 to 3 week period feeling somewhat normal as it pertains to food, craving things that I've never, having cravings that I don't usually have, thoroughly enjoying the taste of food, thoroughly enjoying, mixing it up and going to restaurants and ordering, picking up Wingstop and various things that my kids love to eat that I usually just don't care about and don't get excited about. Also, during that period of time, you will know that I gained a substantial amount of weight, and so I'd been tinkering with my cycle, and I had started out, kind of a bulk at 190 pounds, and over the course of a 3-week period, gained all the way up to 213.2 pounds. That was the highest that I got. So there's two things really I want to report on here today. One is that the vast majority of the gains that I made during the MK677 cycle seem to come from a combination of water weight that potentially was caused by the MK677, but it seems to be primarily water weight that was caused because I stopped taking Arimidex, trying to uncrash it, and my E2 level shot into the stratosphere, and I blew up like a water balloon. So like I was saying, I was at 213.2 pounds. That was the peak, and I began vomiting and having a whole bunch of high E2 symptoms. And so I reintroduced the Arimidex into my cycle, and within 4 days, I think it was, maybe 2 days, I had dropped from 213.2 pounds down to 208 pounds. So just a couple of days of knocking my estrogen down cost me about 5 pounds of body weight. So again, that just goes to back up all these points that I've been making in previous videos about how important it is to manage your estrogen, and why I think coaches in the bodybuilding community at large lie to people, because everybody wants it felt great putting on all that weight. It felt amazing watching the scale go up day after day after day, and I was cramming all this food in, and sure, I was looking wet and bloated, and I knew that there was water weight on my frame, but I was convincing myself that eventually the water and all of the food and possible body fat that I was adding to my physique was going to be turned into muscle through the anabolic process. And unfortunately, the vast majority, if not all of these gains, were purely fucking water. So in the first few days of getting back onto the Arimidex, I lost 5 pounds down to 208. It was at that point that I was still taking the MK677, but the lethargy was just not going away. Lethargy is always something I deal with when I use GH, but usually if you stay at a static dose for a week or so, everything normalizes, and then you can go on using GH for forever without experiencing the lethargy anymore. And that was just unfortunately not happening with the MK677. So while I was able to eat just like pig out and just cram down so many calories, I couldn't get to the gym. I couldn't get out of bed. I was just fucking miserably tired. I was playing board games with my kids and just nodding out and going to take naps. The amount of time I was sleeping on that MK677, just it totally made all of the advantages useless. Like, what good does it do if all you do is sleep all day and eat and you can't get to the gym and train? So it was at this point that I started doing some more research, because it was like, here we have this compound, this research chemical that somebody put a lot of money into research and development on. It seems to be phenomenal. It makes my stomach feel amazing. It gives me this voracious appetite. It allows me to eat all of this food. Why is it that this was never brought to market? It seems to work so good. So why has no drug company, done anything with this? It would seem that they're leaving money on the table. And I did some research and found some studies that reported that in the clinical trials with MK677, that they saw exactly what I saw. That yes, it was really great. That the MK is a great ghrelin agonist. That it does a phenomenal job of increasing appetite and helping people to start putting on some body weight. But that it is absolutely, totally not sustainable. And in the long term, when the people would get off the drug, they would just lose back every single thing they'd gained. It's just all fake weight. And so there's really just no market for a drug that doesn't produce anything. It's not anabolic. It's basically just allowing you to eat. And so aside from the data that I presented, that it could have some curative effects for people who are in early onset Alzheimer's or dementia, things like that. Science is definitely looking at this drug as a beta amyloid plaque buildup sort of reducer. So there may be some therapeutical value to the drug down the road. But as far as a bodybuilding agent, at least in me, and I know, again, I'm not everybody, it showed so much promise in the beginning, and it just didn't pan out over the long run. So in desperate attempt to trying to salvage this, what I did was I was at 10 milligrams of MK twice a day, and the lethargy was crippling. So for like 3 or 4 days, I switched to 10 milligrams only at night. And while that definitively helped the lethargy, it didn't make it go completely away. It more than cut my appetite in half. So I'm taking the MK, which is supposed to be stimulating appetite. And while my appetite was better than baseline, it was nowhere near approaching where it had been at the 20 milligram dose. And so I'm on the MK, I'm still dealing with some fucking lethargy, and I continue to just watch the scale fall. So again, I don't know if all of the weight that I gained was water, because I woke up yesterday at, I think it was 204.4, and yesterday evening I was at 204, so I actually lost weight during the day. And I think again this morning I woke up at 202. I guess I was still 204. So I guess it was 206, 204.4, 204. So from a high of 213.2 over the course of the last week of getting my getting my estrogen back in line and basically tapering off the MK, I have lost just shy of 10 pounds of body weight. Which was clearly all water. Now, again, I'm starting to look phenomenal. I'm still bigger than I was when I started. So maybe we have a situation where I put on 20 pounds and maybe I get lucky and only keep half of it. Maybe I'm hoping that when all of this is said and done, that I'm dried back out and lean and tight at greater than 200 pounds. If I end up back at 200 pounds again after getting all the way up to 213, it's honestly going to be more than a little crippling, because I have been stuck at this 200 pound mark for a year and a half, and I thought I finally found something that that did obviously help me reach that 210 goal and then go all the way up to 213. But it's like I now feel like I just can't even fucking count it because it was just fake gains. It's just like I just inflated myself with a bunch of fucking water and diluted myself into thinking that I was actually making progress, when the only thing that really happened is I took a growth hormone agonist that caused fucking water retention, and my estrogen got out of whack, which caused water retention, and I blew up like a fucking water balloon. And so now that I'm getting everything dialed back in, all of those fake gains that I've been talking about, and like in the video that I made about how important estrogen management is, so many guys think that if they keep their E2 high, they're going to gain more lean body mass and they're going to feel better about their cycle. And it's like, yeah, you do. You do gain more lean body mass. It's just that you fucking lose it all. And for me, it's just catastrophic. I can't, it just feels like such a fucking waste of time. And so for those of you who have been asking my opinion, would I recommend this drug? Would I ever run it again? Honestly, where I stand today, my answer would be categorically no, I do not recommend it. In all honesty, this last 3-week period has probably been one of my biggest bodybuilding regrets, really. It's just been, I've just fucked up. I've caused myself so many problems between high estrogen, high prolactin, low estrogen, a whole bunch of edema and water gain, bloat. And it's starting to look like that odds are, when it's all said and done, I'm just going to be right back to fucking 200 where I started. So currently what I'm running is 350 milligrams of Tren E, 500 milligrams of Test E, 200 to 300 milligrams of Masteron E. And I tried to order some EQ. I finally wrapped my head around the idea of using EQ maybe instead of the MK to try to find an anabolic that I could rely on that would stimulate my appetite. And of course, they're fucking out of stock. I had actually tried to place an order for DECA, Test, and EQ. I'm debating on running Test, Tren, and DECA, just because everybody tells you not to do that. And every time somebody tells me not to do something, I go, that's the fucking exact thing I'm going to do. So if you've had any experience with Test, Tren, and DECA, please leave those comments in the section below. I'm giving serious thought to trying that next. Unless, of course, if I lose another 4 fucking pounds and drop back down to 200, I don't know, man. This has been such a fucking roller coaster. I keep trying to stay positive, and then you just watch all the weight fucking disappear, and it's like, what am I doing to myself? I had everything dialed in to where I looked fucking phenomenal at 197 to 200, totally lean, totally peeled, veins all over the fucking place. I was feeling really good. I had my E2 dialed in, my prolactin dialed in, like everything in my life was going great, and I was just missing that. I was just missing the excitement of going on blast. And so I did that, and I started upping doses, and really all I gained was the psychological benefit of higher, of feeling that trend come up again. And so it just feels like I'm in this state of chasing the fucking dragon. Like, this is just literally a drug addiction, and I can stay stable on some cocktail of compounds for a certain period of time, and then I get bored with feeling the normalcy of whatever the particular cocktail is, and I feel like I need to start adding things and doing different things to kind of feel alive again, and feel inspired again, and feel driven to train hard again. And so I don't know, like I said, it's too early to call, but all in all, I would say MK677 has been a total fail. It appears that the vast majority, if not all of the gains that I made, were just totally fucking fake. So there you have it. I hate to bring you guys a downer fucking video, but that's the truth. I'm not gonna fucking bullshit you. That's always been what my channel is about, is just bringing you the real facts of what my experience is. I had a lot of hope in the beginning And those hopes have just been fucking dashed over the past 4 weeks. And so I think MK677 is going to be permanently removed from my repertoire of compounds to deploy. So there you have it. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.